Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Bushwhacking History in Buffalo with Berserker Bear. So you got my man on the screen with one of my favorite quotes ever, and that's going to be the tone of what's going on here. Of course, usually my stomping ground is Buffalo, and if you've been following along with, you might recognize what's on the screen there. But again, in conjunction with Tolkien's quote, "Not all who wander," we're going to wander away from Buffalo a little bit, and we're going to go into the South Pacific to a place called, we're going to learn a little bit about a very interesting chain of islands, South Pacific, called Auckland Islands. And I'm going to try to make this one quick for you. This place has had my interest for a very long time. I'd say maybe over a year and a half, probably like 2 years now. Not only because it's the shape of it right off the bat, but it's quite anomalous, and I'm going to explain why. So how I found this place, actually, again, perusing on Google Earth, I know that it's a censored application to use, so we're also going to pull in stuff like the Gleason map that I have. This is an interactive application online that anybody can access. I just want to corroborate that we have confirmed that the Auckland Island chains that are just south of New Zealand are a place. So on the Gleason map, we have it delineated right there. Also, there's a book on archive.org that I'm going to borrow right now in front of you to show you how you can do that. Just a quick example to show you of how I do my research right quick. I got a profile on archive.org, and I'm allowed to borrow. You're allowed to borrow certain books that aren't readily available when you have a profile. And again, this is a cool book. I'm going to show you these windows and close them out so I have a little bit more internet bandwidth. But we're just showing it, or I'm just showing the fact that we know that this place is historically delineated on many maps. I just don't want to use and be relegated to Google Earth, okay? Because we're going to get in and we're going to see a very interesting place right here. And I'm just going to fire some hip shot into the dark and do some cool research about it, because I mean, there's a mountain on this place that's called Tower of Babel. And there's quite a few other ones, and I found a very cool application where you can literally get down and zoom into all the mountain chains or mountains that are on this island. If you look at top left, that's where you're actually facing. We're going to do that. I'm showing other examples. This is Map Carta that delineate this place, Tower of Babel. We're going to go into Wikipedia and the list of mountains in New Zealand by height. And I'm going to show you that Mount Tower of Babel is not there, but it is delineated on the data that's provided for Auckland Islands in InfoGalactic, which is another data source that I use. And as you can see, it's delineated here in InfoGalactic, but it is not on the list of mountains. And I'm going to also check Wikipedia, the same search right as we do in here, to see if it's also labeled like it is in InfoGalactic, which off the top of my head it's not. Then we're going to also talk about the idea of, what are mountains really? What are mountains? And I'm going to shout out right now that everybody should check out this channel, Stelium7. If you could see it on your screen, he has a amazing playlist called Unveiling a Titan. I highly recommend that you guys watch this, because it will underline what I'm going to present here. Now, Mike was one of the first dudes to ever put forth this idea, and he does amazing research. And he was recently on Sean Atwood True Crime podcast and YouTube show. So shout out to Mike. He did a very good job of detailing how we have right to question the mainstream. Check him out. Let him know who sent you. And that's the type of research that we're doing here. We're going to get into that also. I mean, with Tolkien and again, Jasher, chapter 9:35, those who wanted to go up Tower of Babel, we're going to learn about that a little bit too. God said no go, and some became apes, some became elephants. Now, keeping in mind what I just said about Stelium 7, he does great work on that. Check it out. He does field work at a mountain called Mount Go in southern Spain, where he in his hometown. This is not biblical canon, I don't think. Please excuse my ignorance. I believe this is more apocryphal lore. Still, we incorporate everything. As far as those who have interest in doing this type of alternative research, especially I'm very faithful and a follower of Jesus Christ, whether that be Christian or I have a Catholic upbringing, but I'm just a follower of the way. So that's cool. Keep in mind, Josh, shout out to Kevin Kruger. You know who you are. I addressed that last one. The picture of the Key Island, this place is okay. So here's that book. Let's go back real quick, because Auckland Island is delineated on the map in this book. And I'm going to close this out because archive.org does take up some bandwidth. And I can always go back, and I think it gives you another, like a 24-hour period. After you borrow it once, you could borrow it again. Oh, I'm looking for Auckland Island. Anyway, if I get lost, I don't want to go too far and get too long-winded, but confirmed, Auckland Islands is delineated on this map, and maybe there it is. Boom. Okay, so another source that is I'm not going to go through this book. All I'm saying is that we got another source that delineates Auckland Island is there. So again, we're not just using Google Earth. Boom. Check that book out. Archive.org, set yourself up a profile. Also, oh yeah, this is an app on the phone, and I actually purchased the app. We'll watch it right now, and I'll show you how like I said before, I'll show you how I found this place just perusing on Google Earth. But elephants and apes, I'm going to do finish the overview, and then Tolkien. What stuck out to me is that there's these other islands in the South Pacific called Elephant Island and Hurt Islands. Now I'm going to get in and zoom in on these places, and they do kind of look a little bit like elephants, honestly. And if you consider, like I just said about creation, there's something going on with elephants. I've posted this before on my IG, but that's kind of shaped like an elephant, You got the pillars of the realm and the firmament, all that gravy. And then, this just looks like an elephant. And you keep in mind, Jasher, like I just cited, we got a lot of gravy to ladle, and I don't want to go too long, so stick with me. Elephant Island is important because that's where Ernest Shackleton landed on his endurance trip. So I think he landed somewhere along like what would look like the Snout, which I would say a follow up on that. And this dude's story kind of reminds me of Byrd a little bit. They were great explorers. Admiral Byrd, he did exploring of South and North Pole, but Shackleton had a really crazy story about his endurance expedition, and they were stuck in the ice, and they all lived, and they had to survive on Elephant Island a little bit. So when I was doing my backup research here, my father is a big fan of this guy. I heard about this guy back in the day through my father, and you can look that story up about the endurance. So that's how he connects here, and we'll close him out. And then, this is my book that I use a lot. My great-grandmother's book, the Literary Digest, and that's tying in Babel. So we're going to learn about all that. Babel, elephants, and this cool place of the realm, Auckland Island. And what's interesting in this book, we'll show you that, here it is right here. Thank you, great-grandma. Francis Roth, stenciled in. We're going to use this. just to show you. Get a pause on that and read it at your own leisure. We all know Bird, and this is an interesting guy right here too. This Amundsen, Norwegian legend. I'm Norwegian as well. It's my heritage, y'all. Keep it going, Dust. Okay, this is what's cool on the Literary Digest book, among many other stuff. I'm going to present that in a future episode. Add it to the list, y'all. But eventually you'll be able to see all the pictures in this book. What's interesting, though, is the, here we go. Bird North Pole. Left from Kings Bay, left the map, went off map, and I agree with Old World Michigan when you queried about where'd he go. I posted this on under the community tab, my YouTube page, and there was a comment that said, "Oh, what's up with the number 2 or whatever?" I forget the details, but I guess the gist of it, in my opinion, was where did he go when he went off map? That's the gravy, right? And then, of course, you got South Pole, but it's not delineated here, I don't think. Not really. No one. Another thing that sticks out is these are all historic world flights, and they're always going. They're going sideways, east to west. How come we can't circumnavigate the alleged globe north to south? Because what would answer that is, a shout out to Dave, deep in the rabbit hole. Check out that YouTube. He does a great job of explaining how this place most likely looks more like a flat plane. This whole system could be spherical if you incorporate the the 9 realms of the Norse myth, or even like take, for example, this. Like, if so, okay, you guys have heard me explain this before, but you got the round or curved waters above, bottom shoal. Maybe the whole thing is spherical, but the land that we're on, Terra and the water definitely appear flat, in my opinion, and people have done research about it. So pause on that. This is really cool information available in this book, and again, I'll present it. And the cool thing is that they're calling skyscrapers modern towers of Babel. So let's track back, and I hope you're liking what you're watching. Got a little bit more to present here, and again, we're at Auckland Islands. And how I found this place, what I do is I've had my interest peaked on it for a while. I'll go into YouTube and do a search for it, just like that, and I'll do a filter search for recently upload date. So that'll do the most recent ones, and I'll be this guy sailed there and has got great footage. Just came up recently. I'm going to show you a clip of another smaller YouTube channel, though, that I seen when I looked it up about a month and a half ago. But that's how I'll keep. If there's any news events out here or anything going on, you'll see it. For example, if anybody sailed there, like this guy sailed there, check this dude's video out. Real cool. He actually gets on the ground there and shows the flora and the fauna. Very cool. Auckland Islands Part 2. Give him a shout out. Let him know we sent you. But the one that I found was this dude right here, because it looks like he's doing exactly what I did. Just looking around, thinking it's super cool, all that jazz. And I'll show you a little clip. And again, shout out to Just Woodsy. He likes to play a lot of Fortnite, but again, I found his channel through doing my sideways, off the beaten trail research, and how he explains this place is super, super cool. I'm going to show you a real small snippet of him. Give him what's up, say hello, subscribe if you like, if you're a gamer. But yeah, again, that's partly how I do my research. I'll look up stuff like this, and again, I'm interested in Auckland Island, so you spot check YouTube for, filter it for the most recent, and you find stuff like this. So again, I'm gonna show a small clip of that little or that video that you've seen, and the fascination is what interested me, and I love it because you can see how enthusiastic he is and how many wows it is. He says, so here it goes. Just Woodsy, shout out, buddy.
anything, it looks like it has a extremely steep coastline.
Sorry about that.
Wow. If anything, it looks like it has a extremely steep coastline. So probably wouldn't be easy to get on at all by the looks of it. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that looks treacherous.
Treacherous.
There's nowhere to hardly land. Maybe there, but you're still gonna have to. Wow, that's beautiful.
What is this place, though? That's what I'm saying.
Pretty uninhabited. Monumental island. Wow, and this is quite a place.
Well done there, Just Woodsy. I like that. I appreciated that a lot. Yeah, if you want to actually see, like I said, boots on the ground or the field work, this guy gets there, Auckland Islands Part 2. So if you go to those cats channel, let them know who sent you and give them a shout out and a thumbs up. That's how we do here. Okay. So also check out my YouTube channel and the Gleason map. Let's stick on track here, Dust. Auckland Islands is delineated. Boom. So you can see that that video is a little bit longer. Just Woodsy, and he kind of goes all the way through the coastline. Now, this place is super interesting. It just looks weird. Why is it shaped? If you watch my last episode with Moon Jazz Bear and Rad Bear, Robbie, he's interested in this place too. They both are. But when Moon Jazz said that it's shaped like a effing key, it's weird because then it makes you think about stuff like, what's it a key to, or is it a red herring? But the fact that it's got a tower on it, or a mountain on it that says Tower, that's delineated Tower of Babel, and there's a little bit of maybe censorship going on, at least on Wikipedia. I understand that's the Beast's platform, but that's why I'm incorporating a whole bunch of different sources here for you. I got this up on the map this map up for you. Just speculating, like I said, hip fire in the dark. Is it a key to, here we go, New Zealand down here? Is there we think this, so this map is saying that there's an opening here, right? Is that like a red herring or a diversionary? Is the key actually, is the key actually this place? So let's read about it real quick. Auckland Islands. I'm going to read the first paragraph from Infogalactic about Auckland Islands, just so we have a general overview of what they're saying this place is. So, the Auckland Islands are an archipelago of New Zealand lying 465 kilometers, 290 miles south of the South Island. It includes Auckland Island, Adams Island, Enderby Island, Disappointment Island, Ewing Island, Rose Island, Dundas Island, and Green Island, with a combined area of 625 kilometers squared, 240 square miles. The island have no permanent human inhabitants. Ecologically, the Auckland Islands form part of the Antipodes subantarctic islands tundra ecoregion, along with other New Zealand subantarctic islands. It was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1998. Continue reading, geography, yada, yada, yada. This is just location stuff. What is it? Okay, Dundas Island with a combined area. The islands are close to each other, separated by narrow channels. Yeah, looks like a key. Auckland Island, the main island, has an approximate land area of 197 square miles, length of 26 miles. It is notable for its steep cliffs, as just Woodsy pointed out. Rugged terrain. It rises to over 1,969 feet. Prominent peaks include Cavern Peak, Mount Reno, Mount D'Urville, Mount Easton, Mount Tower of Babel. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And then we'll check. We have it delineated. Okay. This is a super cool app. I'm going to show you another clip of this. I bought it on my phone. Look at the top left. Like, you can do some cool stuff with this thing. Oh, there goes. That's where the sun's at. Interesting. Allegedly. Obviously, they're going by the heliocentric model, because we know that, like I just cited, the plane definitely appears flat. So that would mean the sun is going around the plane, traveling around it within the firmament. Okay, so yeah, you're going to see a video right now of, it's called Peak Visor. It's for like mountain climbers, and you can go any Pyramid Rock. See, look at all the names on these things. You got a Mount Dick, which is the highest one, I believe. Mount Eden. What's going on down here, guys? All right, so Peak Visor, mountain climbers. I'll show you a video of it. I recorded it, screen recorded it on my phone. Here goes another source to show that this place is actually a thing, you know. Mount Tower of Babel on the Fleming Plateau. Just out of sight. Close that down. So in the list of mountains, the list of mountains of New Zealand by height. Okay. It acknowledges that there is Auckland Islands, but you won't find Mount Tower of Babel on this one. And I haven't done it for Info Galactic, but maybe I will. It might take too much time. I don't think it's delineated there. But let's do this right quick and see if Mount Tower of Babel is listed. Sure. Area. Okay, Cavern Peak, Mount Easton. It is okay. So Mount Tower of Babel is listed on the in the geography for Auckland Islands on Wikipedia and in Info Galactic. I give you credit there, Wikipedia. But so that would tell me that I don't think that it's probably the same for Info Galactic for the list of mountains in New Zealand. Probably not listed. But let's not get too confusing here, Dust. We got it all open. We got Book of Jasher acknowledged. And what I want to say about Tolkien and the elephant thing right quick is these islands, are they named because they look like elephants, or are they named Herd Island and Elephant Island because somebody knows something that we don't, or we're just beginning to know? I mean, look at that right off the bat, the shape of it. And I'm going to show you some pictures just to get your mind thinking in a different way. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy and trying to prove that these things are. I would, again, cite looking up Stellium-7 for a little bit more in-depth on that. And again, we're wandering here. Like I said, the tone of this is not all who wander are lost. I'm not doing any field work right now as far as along the Erie Canal or in the Erie Basin Marina here in Buffalo. This is just off the map musings here. So I'm not proving that these things are elephants. I'm just saying, think in a different way. And again, how Stellium-7 puts it to the Sean Atwood on the Just Crime podcast, it's great. He explains it perfectly. And how rigid and stiff the mainstream academia is, and the bottleneck of knowledge that they have control of the tap on. It's unbelievable. All right. So point to note here is that in the Lord of the Rings, the guys who yield the Oliphaunts, the huge, massive elephants for the war elephants, are the Haradrim, and they're from the South. And we're in the South Pacific, guys, you know. Here, let's see. Elephant. As we learned, this is where Shackleton got had to stay for a little bit. Not really any. I'll drop these links in the description below, and always make sure to check out my IG. But we're wrapping this one up because, like I said, I'm not proving it. I'm just going to show you a couple more pictures. Tolkien may have known something with his "Not all men who wander are lost." And now there goes wandering again. West, north, and south, the children of men spread and wandered, and their joy was the joy of morning before the dew is dry, when every leaf is green. Similarly, and I got that book. So these guys were from the South. They rode huge massive elephants. Is Tolkien trying to tell us something without saying it directly? And oh yeah, let's see. What else did I want to show you guys? So we got the Auckland Island thing in the Babel. And you got the book of Antarctica that showed that. That's Elephant Islands. Now we're going to go to Heard Islands right quick. I'm just kind of showing you the path also. And you guys can follow up on it. What do you think? Respond in the comments. Because I'm trying to wrap this up right now. Again, but now so this one doesn't look exactly like Elephant Island, but when you zoom in, you have interesting features that look like elephant snout and where an eye should be. The eye is, and it almost looks like their snouts linking. I'm not saying that it is, but it's interesting. And then we got censorship, obviously. Okay, so we shouldn't be using solely Google Earth for all of our research. Not saying that everybody does, and I'm not saying that it's wrong too. But yeah. So what do you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate it. And some more pictures here right off the bat that I snapped. Get your mind thinking in a different way. Again, I went through that. It's pareidolia is definitely a thing. But now look at that. That's the side shape of Heard Island. So from the top, it just looked like a volcano, which it states that it is geographically. But that looks similar to Mount Go. Shout out Mike. So what do you guys think? And look at that's another side pic of it. Heard Island. Or I could be wrong. This could be, I should know this. These Heard Island or Elephant Island. Maybe y'all could help me out with that. I'm pretty sure that this is Heard Island. Yeah. Okay. Is it similar to what Mike's saying? Mount Go is? That's zoomed in on right here. Look at that, y'all. I mean, honestly, that's one of the most. Now, is that a shadow? Could be. Yeah, could be definitely. But also, again, Mike drills it in Stellium 7, where it could be a thing, actually. Now, keep that in mind, because that's Terra. That's the land. From there. That's a real elephant eye, I don't know, guys. This realm is definitely not what we were told in the very least of it. So, I don't know. What's going on with the Tower of Babel in Auckland Island? I don't know, but I know that it is super interesting and extremely fascinating to look into. Yeah, we're going to wrap that one up. I don't want to get too long in the tooth. And a little short. I don't often do these Not All Who Wander episodes. I try to stick to my terra here in Buffalo, but when I do, I throw haymakers and I land them, I think, because again, I'm not trying to prove anything. And we'll end on this. Another place where Admiral Byrd went in his expedition so happens to be a place called, why is that not? No, I don't want to. Dustin Island. Antarctica. So my name is Dustin, and we were researching Admiral Byrd, and there is an island just so happens to be called Dustin Island. And let's read about that real quick. Dustin Island is an island about 33 kilometers, 18 nautical miles long, lying 28 kilometers, 15 nautical miles southeast of Cape Anawan, Thurston Island. The feature forms the southeast limit of Seraph Bay. It was discovered by Rear Admiral Byrd and other members of the USAS in a flight from the Bear on February 27th, 1940. That's amazing. I forgot about that. I learned about this a long time ago. We're just ending the video with it right now. So it was named by Byrd for Frederick G. Dustin, member of the Byrd AE and Mechanical a mechanic with the USAS. That's awesome. So there you go. This realm is not what you think it is. Check out my YouTube homepage. You can get to my IG from there at the top rocker, bottom right. Boom. That takes you to where I ladle gravy in between my videos. Okay. Cool things I think are interesting. You probably think you probably will think is interesting as well. And music and movies, truth drops, crazy weather in Buffalo. And you guys want to learn about break effects. Shout out Timmer real quick too. We've had a crazy storm here a couple of days ago. Not here in Buffalo really, but it was more south towns. Check out my video on bushwhacking Buffalo's blizzards. Very cool. And shout out to OG crazy meteorologist Reed Timmer. You want to learn a little bit more about the storm that was here in Buffalo? Check out his page on IG because he's done a lot of reporting. He was here in Hamburg. 5 feet of snow, y'all. Not here in North Buffalo where I'm at, Riverside. So that's it. That'll do you for another episode of Bushwhacking History in Buffalo with Berserker Bear. We just checked out Auckland Island and the possibility of large geographical features having the possibility of being biology. So hope you liked it. Make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and I will report back on the next one. Until then, keep it sleuthing. God bless, and watch your six, y'all.